I need less from the day. Good morning, happy Saturday. Welcome to another weekend. Memorial Day weekend, actually. Today's the day that my car is getting sold no matter what. The important form that I needed to have gotten in the mail is supposedly in my mailbox, and if my car is not sold by the end of the day, that's it. We're done. Last video on the channel. You'll never see me again. I'll just be crawled away in a little hidey hole back there, never to emerge. Oh, it's been such a process, and I think I'm gonna feel so much relief whenever I'm done, except I feel like it's been such a process so far that it may take a little second for that relief to really hit in. So I'm gonna gather up all my documents. I would just really love to knock this out of the way right in the beginning of the day. Gather up all my documents. I'm gonna stop to get a little coffee on the way there. I think I have a Starbucks gift card that I haven't used yet, which is free for me, and it's just them keeping money if I don't use it. Oh my gosh, I haven't gone to Starbucks in long enough that I just had to re-download the app. I feel proud of that. I love supporting small businesses. Not today though. But yeah, this should be a fun weekend. Number one being selling the car. Number two being, this is a little part 3 in our living alone series. Zach is still gone. I'm pretty sure he's in Greece today. It's fine. Tonight, we're going to a wedding, which is exciting. Not mine, obviously. I have a coworker that's getting married, and it's gonna be a late night because her send-off is at 10:30 and it's like an hour and a half away. So we'll see how I do with that, but that'll be fun to get ready for. I have a dress for it. That should be a lot of fun. I feel as though it is difficult for me to think what I'm doing beyond selling my car, because that's just the one big huge thing that's here for me. So let's get on with that, and then we can actually get into whatever else is gonna be going on. Good news is, a couple bad news is. Bad news, the storm? Did you see those videos? Oh my gosh, it came out of nowhere. I did not know it was supposed to rain today, and I'm damp. I'm a little bit damp because, so first off, I'm starving, have not eaten yet today. I have eggs going over here, so pretty soon I should be fine. But it's 11:21, which is far too late to begin the day with your food. But I was going to get breakfast at Starbucks, like I had mentioned, except for if I got a breakfast item, it was gonna push me over my gift card amount. And so I just got a coffee instead, but I was able to up it to a venti because I wasn't getting food anymore. So I've had a venti coffee by now and no food, which is probably not affecting my mental state well. But so then after that, I went to CarMax. And the good news is that I have officially sold my car. I was hoping to feel just this big deep breath, whew, I don't own it anymore, my car is sold, we're all good, all of that. And I don't, because one, it was a messy experience again today. I was just on the phone with my mom and I was telling her, but I brought in all of the right documents this time. All of the right documents. They were so confused by such simple things, which I understand that maybe they don't see every single state registration and title all of the time, but still, one thing they were confused about, on my car's title, it said Shoal, Wendy, and Anna, TOD, Larkin, Shoal. Meaning, my mom and I own the car, transfer on death to my sister. She's the beneficiary of the car. That's just how they do titles in Missouri. I didn't know that other states did it differently. But so, Shoal, Wendy, and Anna, TOD, Larkin, Shoal. They're squinting at my paperwork when I was sitting in the CarMax. And I was like, dear gosh, don't be squinting at my paperwork because I brought everything correctly this time. I know I brought everything correctly. That's why we had to wait the 7 days or whatever, was to get the new paper that was actually right. They're squinting over at it, and finally she's like, can you come here? And so I go over there. She goes, is this your full name? Meaning Anna TOD Shoal Larkin. Is that your full name? And I said, no, I am Anna. TOD means transfer on death. That's the beneficiary listed on the title. She was like, oh, okay. And then I hear the guy that's over there too, and he's in his little cubicle. He called a CarMax location in Missouri and said, what does TOD stand for? And I was like, hey, It stands for transfer on death. It means that that's the beneficiary. And he was like, oh, okay. So that was already confusing for all involved. Then they get my registration. She's putting my registration into the computer. She starts squinting at the computer again. And in my head again, I was like, stop squinting at things because this is straightforward and clear cut, right? Like everything is right. We don't have any room for any error this time. I'm not coming back. Today's the day I'm selling my car. She's squinting at the computer and she's like, your registration isn't coming up as active. And I was like, well, it is active because my car is registered until August 2024. That's whenever it expires. So I was like, it is active. She's like squinting at the computer again. So I invited myself up to her cubicle this time. And I was like looking at the computer and I was like, oh, you're looking under Mississippi. And that actually is a different state than Missouri. I didn't say that. I was like, oh, MS stands for Mississippi. She goes, oh, Missouri is MI. And I was like, no, actually, that's Michigan. Missouri is MO. And she was like, oh, okay. I never knew that. And then goes to MO and looks at my registration and there it was. Which again, I get that like probably not everybody knows all the different state abbreviations and everything. However, if you're doing this every single day, I don't know. It just seemed like the problem solving skills. I was helping problem solve instead of sitting in my comfy little chair. Anyway, so I finally sign everything. My car is like sold and she hands me my check and it has both me and my mom's name on it, which if I had thought far enough ahead in advance, I maybe could have saw that coming, but I didn't. But it says like Anna and Wendy. And so with checks, if it has an and in it, you need both people present in order to deposit the check. And so I was like, since my mom signed that I'm her power of attorney, like, can't the check just be made out to me? And she was like, no, it can't, but you can bring your power of attorney to the bank and see if they'll let you deposit it. And I was like, I don't know if they'll do that. And also my bank's in Missouri, which like is also where my mom is. So if I were in Missouri, then we would just both go together anyways to deposit it. But I guess like the power of attorney meant that my mom gave me the right to sell the car, but she wasn't like giving away her portion of the ownership of the car. And so I cannot cash the check, which was also the bad news. So I don't have a car anymore and I also can't cash the check. So that's why I don't feel this like great sense of relief, because it feels like things aren't done yet. The check's valid for 180 days though. And so I'll see my mom within 180 days and we can cash the check together. The full $1,500 that I'm getting for my car, which is like a good amount of money, but like for a car, I paid that in repairs within the past 6 months. So it's just kind of making that money back, I guess. So all that to say, after I wasn't like annoyed, I just was so ready to be like out of the CarMax. And let me be so clear whenever I'm telling these stories, I'm so polite in person. A lot of this is like thoughts in my head, you know, self-advocating, but still like in a polite way, and customer service, you know. I am not mean to workers. I pinky promise you. All of this came out so polite. But once I had the check and once I was told that there is no way that they can change the check, I was ready to be out of the CarMax. I was like, I need to leave, basically. In my head, I did not tell them that. But so I call an Uber and I go and stand outside. The Uber is like 6 minutes away. And so I'm standing outside and like the dark clouds are just like rushing in, like so dark, coming in so fast. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And like keep checking how close my Uber is. And then it's like the wind starts to blow, which I'm wearing. I don't know if I showed you. I'm wearing my cute little outfit today so that I would feel like good, fun about myself. But my skirt is like doing this in the wind. Like it was so windy. And I was like sitting there and I was like watching my Uber. I was like, he's gotta get here fast, because then the rain started and at first it was just like, you know, when the big drops start coming down and you're like, oh no, like it's about to dump. That's what started happening. And I was looking at my Uber and I was like, okay, he's close. He's close. And then I see my Uber coming at me and then I see him drive right by me and I was like, oh no. So he's like gonna have to turn around. And that's when the like horizontal rain started. And when the horizontal rain started, the woman who I was like working with inside the store like peeked her head out at me and she didn't say anything. Like she didn't say like, oh, you could come wait in the store if you know, just like, I don't know why she looked at me. I guess maybe just to see if I was still there. I don't know if I don't know. So I'm just like smiling like this behind a little pole, trying not to get drenched in the rain. And I was like, I can't go back in there now. Like I just need my Uber to come. Like I'm just standing out here. And it was like the horizontal rain. And so I like went around the other side of the building so I could like dodge it a little bit more. And my Uber guy calls and he was like, where are you? And I was like, I'm in the CarMax. And he was like, I don't see a CarMax. And I was like, you drove by it like a few minutes ago. It's across from Walgreens, if that's helpful. As like in the background you can hear boom, the thunder. But then my Uber came and I got like drenched finished in the 0.5 seconds it took me to get from like the little corner that I was hiding behind into his car. And then I drove home, and on the drive home I was sitting there and I was so hungry, and I was so hungry that I was getting tired, and then I was like getting in a bad mood because I was like, I just need to eat something and take a nap. But I'm home now and I'm fine. I need less from the day. It started out like a lot. I also feel like I kind of need to force myself to like actually feel a sense of relief, because I've been wanting to sell this car for months, and it's like stressed me out to still own it while not wanting to own it anymore. And even though the check's not immediately cashed, like that doesn't mean it's not going to be. So I need to stop and make myself feel satisfaction, relief. I did it. I feel like this day is actually gonna go by like a lot faster than I thought it would, which I guess is okay because it is Memorial Day weekend, so like it's a 3-day weekend. But truly, I'm eating right now, obviously. Or about to be eating right now. I want to go work out. I don't know how long that'll take. Like lift, and then I want to do my hour of elliptical, because that's kind of my like goal this week, is to just do a lot of cardio. And so I want to do my hour of elliptical, and then I want to come back and wash my hair, and then I'm gonna have to get ready for the wedding that I'm going to. And I think I need to leave for that wedding. Ceremony's at 5, and it's like an hour and a half away, so I'm probably gonna need to leave at like 3 just to be safe, which is 3.5 hours from right now, which is a lot of time, but it's just like not as much time as I thought I was gonna have in my day today, I feel like. But I guess that this weekend maybe will be similar to last weekend, and where I just do way too much on Saturday, do like just enough on Sunday, but then I still get a Monday. So we need to talk after I eat. I am drenched in sweat, but I'm feeling very proud of myself. And I'm feeling a lot better than when we chatted before I ate. Okay, it's time, I feel like, to start actually getting ready for the wedding. It's only 2 now, but I need to wash my hair, which then involves like also making sure my hair is dry. Makeup, all of that. I really like my dress that I'm wearing today. I got it like for this wedding, so I'm excited to show you that too. But gotta start with this. This is my outfit. I'm like right on time to leave, like so on time to leave that I need to get going. But it took me forever to do my makeup, but I feel like it turned out really well. And then this is the dress that I got that I'm so excited about. I'm gonna just wear Birkenstocks for the drive and then change into just like little nude heels once I get there. I'm really excited. This is fun. Flip around the camera so you can see the makeup that I took so long on. I was watching Criminal Minds as I was doing it, so I mean I was having a good time, but I think I was kind of right that the get ready time sort of flew by, and it is definitely leave time now. I'm gonna turn on a good playlist in the car, and it'll be a lot later whenever I return home here. I wanted you to see how I woke up before I fixed it. I braided my hair last night, and it obviously did not quite stay that way. Would you believe me if I told you that today is Monday and I spent like all of yesterday on the couch? Because I did, and it was absolutely incredible. And when I say all day on the couch, obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but not by a lot. Because between 7 a.m. and I would even go with 5 p.m. I was on the couch watching Criminal Minds. I was editing YouTube videos. I got a lot done for YouTube, which was awesome. And then a little bit of wedding planning things, but honestly, like not that much of wedding planning things. And then at 5, I was like, okay, kind of getting uncomfortable from laying down. I've been laying down the entire day. So I did go to the gym and I did another hour of elliptical, which made me feel so very proud of myself. I loved that. And then when I got home, I like picked some things up and started one load of laundry, but nothing crazy productive. And then did like wedding planning to end the night. And by that I mean I reached out to 7 different florist companies to get quotes, because I'm holding on to that piece of advice that the person at the venue told me, that florist quotes can range, like it could just be such a big range. And so she was like, just reach out to as many as you'd like, and then you can compare from those people, because it's probably not going to turn out bad. Some might quote one wedding really cheap and another wedding not, and yeah, so I did that yesterday. Obviously I haven't heard back from them yet because they've not put my quote together between like 10 p.m. yesterday and 8:45 a.m. this morning. The other wedding things we've got going on today is that at some point I need to go to Whole Foods to pick up my, like from the Amazon locker, the envelopes that I got, so I can start hand addressing for save the date. I want to get our save the dates out because most people will be traveling to our wedding, and so I would rather get the save the date out sooner than later. But the like thing holding up the process is the fact that Zach's still not here. And so our engagement pictures are June 5th, meaning those are going to be the pictures that are on the save the dates. But I didn't want to wait until June 5th to get like a custom print done from Minted or Shutterfly or whatever, because those can take a little second, and I didn't want it to be like, okay, June 5th, I get the sneak peek, I just slap whatever picture she sends me for the sneak peek onto the save the date, and then have to wait like 2 weeks to get them back and then send them. So what I did, and I'm kind of excited for it, I feel like this will make more sense once it comes to fruition, but I'm gonna hand address envelopes to save money. I ordered stamps too, because stamps are kind of expensive. I kind of didn't really realize whenever you're buying stamps in a large quantity how expensive that can get. But I got stamps, I got the envelopes, and then I got the like, I can't remember the word now, it's like vellum. In my head I keep thinking Valium. That's not what it is. Vellum like overlay, and that's gonna be custom printed. So there's like a vellum overlay that says like Anna and Zach, save our date, has the date, the location, all of that, and then like the wedding website. I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. That was my make sure you're awake arm. But so then that can be the like custom thing, and I can just get it in like a 5x7, and then once we get an engagement picture back, I can just like print those at CVS, and it's not like the custom print that'll take a long time. Like it can just be an overnight at CVS, print that, and then I can stuff the envelopes that I'll already have addressed and ready with the picture, the overlay, the envelope, and I can mail those, and that can just be a lot sooner of a process than if I were to get like a custom print with a photo. Does that make sense? I felt like it was genius when it came together. Like I really was proud of myself for that. But I'm waiting to go get the envelopes because I don't know if you can see or hear it behind me. We are in a severe thunderstorm warning. I was woken up at 7:15 this morning by the biggest boom of thunder, and then have like kind of tried to go back to sleep since then, but kept getting woken up by thunder. And so now I'm a little bit tired. I'm sure I'll get over it. And we're in a severe thunderstorm warning until about 2 p.m. today. So we're not gonna go get the envelopes quite yet. But that gives me perfect time to sit, have coffee, eat, finish up the editing on the YouTube videos that I was doing yesterday, and also get like chores done. Chores, yay. I am so glad that I had my couch day yesterday. That is genuinely what I needed so bad, and it was so good. There's the thunder. Some of it. That's quiet thunder compared to what woke me up this morning. Whole Foods overwhelmed me. Everyone was there. Everyone was there, which I guess makes sense because it's Memorial Day, so people are like off work, probably doing their groceries. I didn't need to get that many groceries. I was kind of shocked last week because I was thinking like, I wonder what my grocery total, like how that will vary being just myself versus whenever Zach's here too. And then I was a little shocked because it was still $120, and I feel like that's a lot. I felt like that was a lot for one person, but now I still have food, so I didn't really have to go get a lot of things today. The Amazon pickup was so easy. I feel like I may start doing that more often. I don't know. But these are the envelopes that at some point today, I'm kind of picturing it as like my evening activity. I will start hand addressing for the save the dates. Wow, that was difficult. But these are the envelopes we're working with, which I feel like is quite nice. I'm planning for whenever we do like the actual invitations to just, oh my gosh, it matches me. I didn't realize that. I'm planning when we do the actual invitations to get the like personalized printed envelopes that'll just come with whenever we do the invitations, but that is further in the future. Not like super far in the future, but further in the future. And then what I got at Whole Foods, some bagels, sesame seed bagels, strawberry GT's kombucha, unsalted butter because I want to make, and I needed butter for it, I want to make these at some point. I don't really have a muffin pan that I want to use, so I'm going to make them as scones instead, but I needed butter for that, and so that's exciting. They were on sale, so I got these classic Italian beef. I don't, like it's not bologna, right? Bolognese. I don't know how to say that, which is kind of embarrassing for me. I got semi-sweet chocolate chips so that I can make the power balls again, because those were great when I made them last week. And then it's been a long time since I've had a little sweet treat because I've been trying to be better about the workout and being in the gym and everything, but chocolate eruption cake slice. Looking forward to this. That's all I got though. So like that's my groceries for the week, but because I already have stuff.